we're seeing a big push now from Europe and from countries in the region here, not only to see if it's possible to avert Israel's planned occupation and takeover of Gaza City, but also to see if it's possible to get ceasefire negotiations back on track. According to 3 Hamas sources, a Hamas delegation has headed to Cairo to begin talks with Egyptian officials about negotiations towards a ceasefire. The question, where will this lead? We also know that U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff met with the Qataris in Spain over the course of the weekend. The problem is there isn't concrete movement on this, as we saw towards the end of July before that ceasefire effort fell apart after the U.S. and Israel withdrew, blaming Hamas of acting in bad faith. That had a tremendous amount of optimism around it, at least before it collapsed. We don't have that same sense that there is positive movement in the right direction to get a ceasefire on track, but clearly you see the efforts are there. And when it comes to Israel's planned takeover of Gaza City, the criticism has been fierce, with both countries and humanitarian organizations warning it would only lead to a worsening humanitarian catastrophe inside Gaza and, of course, specifically Gaza City. In a public letter, 24 foreign ministers, mostly from Europe, but also from Japan and Australia, as well as the European Union, wrote a letter saying famine is unfolding before our eyes. They call on Israel to not only let in more aid, but also to allow in more humanitarian aid organizations to try to get aid to as many people who need it as possible. In the letter they write, all crossings and routes must be used to allow a flood of aid into Gaza, including food, nutrition supplies, shelter, fuel, clean water, medicine, and medical equipment.
El Capitolio Nacional, en el Salón Elíptico. Estamos justamente en el lugar en donde se realizó la cámara ardiente por 3 días al senador Miguel Uribe Turbay del Centro Democrático. El féretro ya salió para la Catedral Primada, en donde congresistas, representantes, familiares, amigos, su esposa María Claudia Tarazona, su papá Miguel Uribe Londoño, sus 2 hijastras estuvieron siempre acompañando el féretro del senador Miguel Uribe Turbay. Aquí en el Congreso de la República fue un momento solemne en donde se inició el evento con 1 minuto de silencio. Luego, las palabras de los presidentes del Senado y de la Cámara de Representantes. Palabras del director del Partido Centro Democrático, Gabriel Vallejo, quien leyó un discurso que había preparado el expresidente Álvaro Uribe Vélez, que por motivos judiciales, de justicia, no está presente debido a la condena que está en su nombre. Después, Miguel Uribe Londoño, su padre, dio palabras a todas las personas que vinieron aquí en Cámara Ardiente para darle su último adiós al senador Miguel Uribe. Y fue por este espacio por donde nos encontramos que el féretro salió, seguido de pañuelos blancos, de bombas blancas, de todos los arreglos florales de diferentes colores, para darle ese último adiós al senador Miguel Uribe Turbay. Hoy, en el último día de esta Cámara Ardiente en el Congreso de la República. Se espera entonces que su cuerpo sea enterrado ya en el Cementerio Central, que queda justo en el centro de Bogotá. El traslado será desde la Catedral Primada hacia este cementerio, en donde lo esperan también los restos de su madre y de su abuelo, el expresidente Julio César Turbay.
Mañana viernes, lo toma lugar la reunión entre Presidente Trump y Presidente Putin en Alaska. Y ya acaba, Presidente Trump amando una advertencia si no logra llegar a un acuerdo para terminar con la guerra en Ucrania.
There will be very severe consequences.
Una reunión importante aquí. Presidente Trump ha reunido virtualmente con Presidente Zelensky y con otro líder europeo, mientras que el Presidente Putin ha elogiado a la administración de Trump para el esfuerzo para acabar la guerra en Ucrania.
American administration, which as everyone knows is making, in my opinion, quite energetic and sincere efforts to stop the hostilities, stop the crisis and reach agreements that are of interest to all parties involved.
Mientras que el secretario de Estado Marcos Rubio ha comentado que está positivo y cualquier paz, y que el presidente Trump es un presidente de paz.
We'll see how tomorrow plays out. As the president said, his hope is to interact with Mr. Putin tomorrow and sort of get a sense very quickly and early whether a peace is possible or not. The president's spoken to him, I believe, 4 times by phone. I felt it was important to now speak to him in person and look him in the eye and figure out what was possible and what isn't. This is the president of peace. He wants that war to end. He's going to do everything he possibly can. If he sees an opportunity to talk about achieving peace, he's going to pursue it. And we'll know tomorrow at some point, as the president said, probably very early in that meeting, whether something is possible or not. We hope it is.
Presidente Trump ha informado que todas las bandas lobbies llegan a un acuerdo para por cabo que guerra aquí. pero la reunión aquí lo porta el comienzo de paz.
If the first one goes okay, we'll have a quick second one. I would like to do it almost immediately, and we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself if they'd like to have me there.
Parte de Noticia, Fabiola Angela Hernandez.